and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Amogbe, right here in Lagos.
Sport greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonapan. So much going on in our world of sports. Cecilia, I'm monitoring games going down in the English Premier League. And gracious goodness, what happened to Rivers United? Cecilia, I tried to smile over it, but loads of lessons in there for not just Rivers United, but football clubs in Nigeria.
You know, Austin, Irene kept asking me, how did you see the game? I'm like, what do you expect me to say? Irene Oma actually is our producer of the show. So, you know, we expected so much. I was telling Fisayo that Fisayo Dairo, is the chief football writer for ACLsports.com, that his prediction, he might just have to sit in my place, because I predicted also when they were going to play their fourth round game, and I felt, okay, this is the time for them to win. It's a home game. And now another back-to-back home games, they lost. And this time around, the losing, it wasn't just, you losing. It's the manner in which they lost. 4-1 at home in Uyo, in Nigeria. So out of 5 games, Rivers United did not win any game. They have just one more to go. Play for pride and see if they can at least pick up 3 points from at least one game, so they won't leave the continent, on a very, very sad note. Yes, you will be hearing from the coach, Finidi George. He's trying to explain how that happened. And of course, it was really brutal in his analysis and some of the reasons why they lost. You hear from him on the show tonight. And also, yes, we'll also be looking at match day 25 of Nigeria Premier Football League. Take a look at all the games played at the weekend. And the one that was abandoned due to crowd troubles and continued the next day, it was 8-goal thriller. And that Sunday, when it was moved to Monday morning, it was 3-3 before the fans' trouble started. But on resumption in the next day, ended 4-4. You get to hear about that particular team on the show tonight. Of course, Kun Khalifa, after the topsy-turvy of going, not going out of the league, they beat Shooting Stars by 2-0. So all the updates and, of course, some of the highlights, you'll be seeing them on the show tonight. Yes, obviously, the Winter Olympics, it's going on. And of course, for the 4th consecutive time, you're having Nigeria representative at the biggest stage. And what is different about these particular Olympic Games is not just having Nigerians participating for the 4th time, it's the fact that for the first time in the history of Nigeria, you're having United Nations Global Peace Advocate carrying the flag for the Winter Olympics. She will be on the show tonight. You get to hear from her what peace actually means, what advocating for peace means, and its relation to sport, and what we can actually learn from the work that she is doing. You hear from her on the show tonight. And of course, yeah, you listen to the NFF president. I don't know if my producer will allow me to get this one out, but we definitely want to get it out. What is happening with Coach Eric Chell? You hear from the NFF president on the show tonight. And of course, the EPL, as Justin mentioned, we will be giving you updates from there. And Nigeria, when it comes to Davis Cup, where for the first time in 30 years, where Nigeria gained promotion to World Group 2. And the target for them is World Group 1. So later this year, September, we will know our opponent and see if we can seek that qualification to World Group 1 in the Davis Cup, because Nigeria were clinical against Uzbekistan this weekend. We're talking about tennis on the show tonight. Yes, it is a loaded package. It's a Tuesday. Kehinde Idris in the house. We welcome him first before we welcome our big guest on the show. Kehinde, it's great to have you join us on the show tonight.
It's great to be here. It's a Tuesday. I already saw Maryam Hassan on the menu, and I'm looking forward to listening to her. Somebody, very visionary. When you put Nigeria on the map of the world, then everybody is your fan. Everybody is loving you, and that's what she has been doing. And now, very global stage on the Winter Olympics. But looking at the menu, I think it's super nice. The Davis Cup really got me screaming, over the weekend, because I think I'm happy not for the federation or our tennis. I'm happier for the players who are toiled, and now they are getting to this point. For our own NPFL, games like Wiki Tourist against Katsina United is the reason why Rivers United was beaten 4-1 over the weekend at home, because we never keep our house in check. And yes, those who do their homework will continue to come to our own land and decimate us.
You're mean and wicked. All right, so we are starting up with the big one. I mean, talking about Hassan will be joining us on the show tonight. We'll talk about what it actually meant for us to have, I mean, not just a representative at the Winter Olympics, but being the first Nigerian to carry that peace flag. You know what it means, what sports symbolizes peace, symbolizes unity, across the world, from Russia to Ukraine to Israel to Gaza, and even some parts of Nigeria, especially northern Nigeria. The world actually needs peace, and that's why you're having someone like Maryam Hassan telling us what this actually means to her, and of course, to the whole of Africa, not just Africa, to the world. She will be joining us from Mauritania, telling us more about carrying the flag, carrying responsibility, and the leadership reflection on peace building. Good evening. It's good to have you join us on the show tonight.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. I mean, when I saw, I was watching the Winter Olympics opening ceremony. Opening ceremony is usually very graceful. The atmosphere, the fanfare, everything, the celebrations and everything you can actually think about. But when I saw you among those that were carrying the flag, I'm like, okay, that happens to be the Nigerian poet. And I'm like, when you agree to be on this show, yeah, it's an honor for all of us. Yeah. So tell us what it means to you. I mean, doing that, the whole world actually watching what you were doing at the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics in Milan, in Italy.
Thank you so much for having me. I think for me, what carrying the flag ultimately meant for me, it meant recognizing that peace is not an event, but it is practice. And it is a daily decision for us to humanize before politicizing, and that it is for us to listen before we label, and to create spaces, whether it's through the sports, through education, through art, policy, that we can have dignity there being a non-negotiable. And perhaps also the most important thing it meant for me was understanding that none of us actually carry peace alone, that we carry it collectively through conversations, through the friendships, through the collaborations, and sometimes even just the simple gestures that remind us that we belong to one another. So I think for me, the opening ceremony and carrying that flag at the Winter Olympics was that the Olympics gave us a moment to remember that. And now the responsibility for us is to actually keep practicing that long after the stadium lights have actually faded. That's what it meant to me.
Yeah,
Love it.
Okay. Okay, Austin.
Yeah, Miriam, I just couldn't wait to, unpack the meaning of this experience for you. You got into Milan as a poet, and then you left as a history maker. What sort of message did it put in your hands for the girl child in Nigeria?
I think that the message would be that regardless of what your situation is right now, regardless of the barriers that you're facing, regardless of where you are or what your dream is, if you just stay at it, if you just leverage the resources that are around you, whether it's social media, whether it's your art, your pen, whatever it is, so long as you leverage that and you stay dedicated to your craft, the world will hear your voice. But most importantly, wherever you go, you have to be the best representation of Nigeria, regardless of what the country is going through, because the moment you leave Nigeria, you are Nigeria.
Awesome. And Miriam, look, you've been doing a great job. You've used your voice, you've used the power of the words, you've used the precision of spoken words to dismantle stereotypes, to, give our world a true meaning of what it should be. When you looked at that crowd, at that opening ceremony, you're a poet. What would you have said to them?
Goosebumps. I had goosebumps. You had over 70,000 people present. And every single person, from the organizers to the people that were in charge of everything that had to do with us, they were really lovely. And just how everybody was like really in awe of the moment itself and just walking out. And I had my two friends, Alex and Umita, and the moment we walked on that stage and the lights came on, I think all of us, all the 8 of us, got really emotional. And the moment they called my name, the crowd, it was this loud scream. You could feel the energy, the love, the adrenaline. And also the Secretary General of the United Nations was there. The President of General Assembly was there. After, I got messages congratulating me. and my friend started crying. It was so emotional. We got back, and then the organizers, they were just in awe of the moment. I think it was such a beautiful moment.
Imagine that, because most of the
That's
athletes that usually go to the Olympics, there's just this joy that emanates from them when they are talking about their experience. You wrote something about, sports is a rehearsal space for coexistence, and coexistence is not abstract. It lives in education and in everything. I mean, for you, is there something you're doing in Nigeria for the girl child? And of course, there's some parts in Nigeria actually, there's actually no peace at all.
Yes. So part of the initiative that we have is called the Through My Voice initiative. It is it is a community where we basically engage young storytellers to build their digital advocacy capacity and how they can use the digital space positively for them to also get recognized. And part of the things that we do is get opportunities for them that can move them from survival to creative enterprise. And now what we're working on is actually a fellowship that can actually connect you to mentors globally, basically leveraging my own network to see how we can bring out more talents from Nigeria, again, Northern Nigeria, and also Nigeria generally. But again, why I mentioned Northern Nigeria is also because it is very rare that we have such opportunities as young girls coming from, Northern Nigeria, because also the mentorship is not as it is not there in abundance, I would say, especially when it comes to the creative arts or like being a poet and other creative endeavors that one would like to embark on. So that is like what we're working on right now. In terms of peace, when I became the United Nations Global Advocate for Peace, we have been collaborating with different organizations to actually like put together initiatives, and we would be doing the first peace circle also in Nigeria in collaboration with the United Nations in Nigeria, where we would be having intergenerational dialogue, but actually real intergenerational dialogue where you have young people and actually older people that have been in positions of influence. So yeah, these are some of the things that we're working on right now.
Include sports, because I mean, peace and sports, they coexist, they go hand in hand in it.
They do. I think sports has always been a thing that unites people.
Yes.
Because when you're in that space, it's more like your culture doesn't matter. Nothing matters but that game. Also, art is also a tool for peace as well. So for me, it's like if we can just keep leveraging this and also creating that harmony where we can have that intersection where humanity is at full display and dignity is not negotiable, I think that we would have done our job right.
Interesting. I mean, we can actually go on and on and on and on this show because we're loving this conversation, but we have to let you go at this particular moment. Or is there something else you want to add? You want to tell us?
I just want to remind everybody that please, whenever you step outside of Nigeria, be Nigeria. You are Nigeria. It doesn't matter what it is that the country is going through. You can be that change that you want to see, no matter how little, whether it's through your art or through how you carry yourself, because you are our representation once you cross that border.
Thank you very much, Maryam Hassan, first ever Nigerian United Nations Global Peace Advocate, and of course, 2026 Winter Olympics flag bearer. Thank you so much for finding time to tell us your experience, and also, give some words of advice to every Nigerian out there. Just know that you're a Nigerian and peace is not negotiable. Thank you so much for joining us on the show tonight.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Me too. Just a quick one from you, Kende Idris. I mean, sports is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is.
I think
it cuts across.
The first thing sports, preaches is inclusivity. Yeah. I can remember some 3 years ago, there is a doctor I've had to work with sometimes when I was younger, and then we got to sit and talk. And she told me she's an ophthalmologist, consultant ophthalmologist. She said, do you know that every sport that the regular people do you know that the blinds too get to do it? That she got out there and she saw that blind people who are in sports actually don't feel like they are outside of, the sports arena. They play football, they play basketball, they do swimming, they do cycling, they do everything. So you have a chunk, a good number, who are already included in everything that has to do with sports, and their life is going on smoothly. That is what sports gives you. And that is what, Maryam Hassan is talking about and what she's preaching and what sports preach. And then she said something. The moment you leave the, shores of the country, you should understand that the moment you leave Nigeria, you become Nigeria and your representation does matter. So when you hear narratives like negative, it is not the country that went there and they start being negative. It is people who went out there and been negative. And when you hear the positives like Hassan, you know that these are people who carry Nigeria in their light and people are talking about Nigeria in the positive. But which one do you want to be? Sports have told us love, unity, inclusivity is all about it. Now you as a representative of the country, you are now carrying all of this showing to the entire world. It won't be long before the entire world start embracing your country. Where is this man from? Where is this woman from? We want to even know more about the country, and that's what it is.
Yeah, what a way to wrap this up. I know, Austin, there was a time, we joke about it, there can never be peace. But then, that definitely there will be peace. What people want is equal rights and justice. Once there's equal rights, there's justice. Obviously, there will be what? Peace.
Sheila, I won't believe you brought our newsroom shenanigans, live television. Yes, sports has got the power, to promote peace worldwide. And that's why sometimes when I look at the world we live in and all of the problems, I'm like, why are we not using sports? It has a soft power, to transform lives, to, reform communities. And look, United Nations, they've been using it. And look at the things Maryam said. Look, she will never be the same again.
Yeah.
She's a poet, but now she has felt the power of sports. She said, look, we can actually use this. And when you look at country like Nigeria and everything we're going through, I'm like, look, we can actually just sit down and design programs tied around peace and development, community building, togetherness, and put sports in the middle of it, Cecilia, and it will make sense. Before we go on, back in the day, during the Civil War, Pele was coming to Nigeria. They paused the war so that soldiers can come and watch Pele play football. That's how powerful, sports can be, And when you look at teams like, let's take our club sides, what is going on in Russia, maybe Ukraine. If you have a Russian and a Ukrainian in the team, they play football together. Countries need to reflect.
Yeah.
They need to reflect.
All right. Unity is not naive. Actually, peace is what's winning. All right, let's quickly touch down on Davis Cup. Nigeria is in, for the first time in 30 years. I mean, it's been, how many decades? 3.
Yeah.
Wow. It's been a long time, but then they're in Group 2, and the target is actually Group 1. Let's enjoy this report coming from the weekend of how Nigeria dismantled Uzbekistan to get promotion to Group 2 in Davis Cup right here in Lagos.
With the fixture tied at 1-1 from Saturday's showdown, Nigeria and Uzbekistan return for the deciding game to see who gains promotion to the World Group 2.
Wonderful games of tennis between Nigeria and Uzbekistan.
First is the doubles, and Nigeria did not disappoint. The pair of Canis Choma and Michael Emmanuel beat Uzbekistan's Denis Itomin and Kimoyan, winning 7-6, 6-4 to take a 2-1 lead. In the singles, David Adeleye delivers the crucial victory with a 6-3, 6-4 win over Ilya Ignatov, sending Nigeria into the Davis World Cup Group 2, which will be played in September later this year. For the hosts, the win shows the country has what it takes to excel against their foreign counterparts.
I told them we're going to beat them, and indeed we did make it happen, and we've beaten them to it. So for me, It's a victory. This victory belongs to Nigeria. This victory is for all of us. This victory belongs to the game of tennis in Nigeria, and this victory is a sign that tennis has come to stay in Nigeria.
That is why, in spite of the fact that many people have underrated our team, that team today has proved everybody wrong. That in spite of the ranking of the Uzbekistan counterpart, the Nigeria team has surpassed all expectations, and today they've delivered the win to us.
With the playoffs done and dusted, attention now turns to World Group 2, with Nigeria getting to know their opponents when the ITF releases the draw for the event and conclusion of all World Group 1 playoff ties.
So much celebrations coming there. Well, we'll have a little wrap-up of that when we come back from this break. But while on the break, inside the Niger Delta with Mahmoud Akoga, we'll continue on our DSTV platform, our streaming platform, other platform, Sport Tonight. We'll continue. Stay with us. Austin, it was all about celebrations on Saturday. You remember when we had the technical director in the studio when he was talking about this Davis Cup and what they put in place, and the technical things they put in place, and of course, the players' training and the welfare, everything. I mean, they were actually ready. I thought we were skeptical, Nigeria, maybe lastminute.com. But you see what preparation does to you. You're smiling. You understand what I'm talking about. You have an event. For instance, earlier today, the news came out from National Sports Commission, the Nigerian Sports Commission, that, what's it called again? The money had been given to athletes, a training grant, 200 million, about 17 athletes, right, training grants. And this is February. Yeah. The Commonwealth Games is this year, right? Austin is in Scotland in August, right? Yeah, that's when Commonwealth Games. And you're giving grants to athletes in Glasgow. You're giving a grant to athletes in the same 2026. So that's the lastminute.com preparations I'm talking about. But these people were ready. And then they prepared the athletes. And just look at the joyous celebration. I mean, preparation, you can't really write it off. You've got the players, you've got the talent. Give them everything they need, and you see how they will surprise you. And funnily enough, part of this Uzbekistan team, you had a top seed. I'm trying to remember his name now. It's Tommy, right? Austin, a top seed who was he has played in a Grand Slam event before. Was part of this Uzbekistan team. It shows you how big the stars were, Austin. Yeah.
Cecilia, we've said it time and time again that Nigeria is so blessed. We've got talent. That's the Nigeria #1, Daniel Adelaide, right there. It's from Ekiti State, And they have said it that they just need support. They keep saying we need support. And each time when they say these things, people don't listen to them because they know that if they've got the sort of support that their international counterparts have, that they can actually compete, from the Quadri. Cecilia, I remember since when we've been back to tennis, talking about Oyinlomo Quadri. Can't remember. We're talking about her and the talent that she's got. Just try and imagine if she was American or she was from more European country. She
would have been an ATP player by now, playing in
Grand Slam finals. Yeah. With the sort of talent that she has. But I like the fact that we're highlighting that it is the level of preparation, planning that you put into something that will give you results, So that's what we're seeing. Now they've gained, a promotion into the next phase. We'll wait for September to see what that will do for tennis in the country. Administration, they're doing their part. Players, they are doing their part. Kende Idris, that's how you get the proper result and development that you want.
It's as simple as that. By virtue of however it has been from inception, from the world, since the world has started, Nigeria have got deposit of talented sportsmen and women in any sport. As long as you've introduced it to Nigeria, they started practicing it. I just think we have this enormous zeal to excel in whatever. But our natural disaster is always with us, pari passu. As the athletes are putting in the effort, the natural disaster keeps pulling them down. Talking about enabling environment, welfareism, facility, like they say, business cannot thrive except if the, society is conducive for business to thrive. And that's the story of our sportsmen and women. You just mentioned, Oyinlomo. If it were to be somewhere outside of the world, the kind of endorsement she will have on her own, because she started very early.
Yeah.
As of 12 years, we've already known her as a fantastic tennis player, and she went on that trajectory. And it is what it is. Look at the joy from these people.
Yeah.
But the people who are celebrating the most are always the administrators.
Yeah.
Now,
congratulating messages.
It is sweet. Now think of them getting into the World Group 1. How will it be where we are, playing the proper Davis Cup? So many times we always, it's an all-encompassing victory for all of us. So we need to understand that hopefully Cecilia, Austin and Kende will come here and talking about, how we need to do it better next time.
I hope we don't do that. I was trying to, Dennis is told me he was former world number 30. ATP player, top player. He was part of that Uzbekistan team that Nigeria beat to qualify for World Group 2. How big is that? Right, let's leave tennis and quickly now we're coming to football. And of course, we can't have a show without football, right? Now this time around, this is coming from Nigeria Football Federation President Ibrahim Gusso. It's a long, talk. But we just brought you about a minute and some few seconds concerning that talk. And this has to do with the coach of the Super Eagles, Eric Schell, his contract, and why they haven't renewed it yet, because he has 1 year, and of course that he's going nowhere simply because he wants to achieve his dream with Nigeria. Listen to him.
And therefore, whatever interest anybody will show on him, he has to wait until his contract expired. And basically, we don't want to bring some distraction on him, and because we quite well understand that he enjoys working with Nigeria, because it's not about team is interested in you. And it's not about because he has gotten the results with the Super Eagles. So if you go to the other team, despite the fact that they are going to give him more money, he's going to get the results. That's not the issue. The issue there, did they have the materials for him to work with to achieve what he wants to achieve? The dream of every single coach is to make sure that he achieves success, especially on higher tournaments. So when you are saying that I want the coach, we are going to look for the coach to come and we are going to pay him so amount of money, it's not the issue of the money, but will he achieve what he wants to achieve in his career? Or is he just going there for the money? So, but the key thing is that I know Coach Eric believes in Super Eagles, and he believes that he can achieve whatever he wants to achieve in his career when it comes to coaching, a profession, especially with the national team within the African continent. So he has so much belief in the Super Eagles, and he has every confidence that he can achieve all his dreams with the Super Eagles. So that's the key thing that I believe in, and I know we discussed it several times with him. And to us, as I've said, we believe in him, and when the time comes, we'll definitely make Nigerians to know the way forward. But Eric is part of Super Eagles, and he will continue to be part of Super Eagles.
Yeah, Austin, take this from here. He doesn't. The reason why they are not extending his contract is because distraction, and number two, he cannot achieve his dreams with any other team any other teams. He didn't mention they maybe in the world, because they don't have the resources. That means the human resources. So Super Eagles are the best team in Africa.
I don't agree with him. I was just listening and I'm like, Ibrahim Gusso and the NFF, they know the level of, should I say, accountability and transparency that we expect from them. When you ask the question that does he have the materials to work with if he goes somewhere else, the question is, look inwards, Ibrahim Gusso, does he have the materials to work with in Nigeria? Yes, the man might love Nigeria so well, but hey, you cannot tell me that if his agent gives him a call and say XY is the country that they've decided to, give you double of what Nigeria is giving to you, and look at the country that we're talking about. They have better sporting infrastructure. They have proper leadership structure in place as regards football. Welfare is top-notch. Brian Gusso, the man led Nigeria to win bronze, where players were protesting and threatening not to play a vital quarterfinal match. What's wrong with us? There was a time was in the media that he's being owed 3 months' salary. Yeah. Can we talk about those issues and let him understand that you will definitely take care of him if he's a good coach that you want to keep. Otherwise, this is just wish list, because players, we see them, Kende Idris, they kiss the badge, they beat their chest, they are staying with this club. Another club with bigger money and brighter prospects come and they leave. So who is Eric Shell to say he will stay in Nigeria when he doesn't have the right materials to work with Kende?
The Sinosha of Arsenal, many years ago, Thierry Henry, at a point, told Barcelona, it's not until I write on my forehead that I'm not for sale before you leave me alone. The next season, he became a Barcelona player. I don't know who taught our administrators arrogance. Maybe it is something that has built from the past and it has gotten to this point.
Is it arrogance or confidence?
That's arrogance. That's not confidence. That's arrogance. Can he achieve whatever he wants to achieve elsewhere? I don't know. They don't have media team. This is what you say. This is how you say. This is how you put it. In fact, if I'm Eric Shell and I'm listening to that, I want to prove you wrong. How can you say I can't go elsewhere and achieve whatever it is I can achieve with the Super Eagles? You just outlined it. November.
We've got two former African Players of the Year in our team. What are you saying?
Clap for us.
I mean, which other teams got them?
Clap for us.
Senegal got one. Egypt got one. Morocco has one. We have two.
But against Gabon, the World Cup qualifier, Gabon was so tired in the extra time. That was why we got 3 goals. Congo, that wasn't tired. We couldn't see them off. And then we were waiting. This same Gosa and family are saying, FIFA will do this, will do that, will be at the World Cup. Thank you. But what I have problem with is, this is now you speak to the media. That man is a proper professional. He brought his know-how to the Nigerian Super Eagles. It wasn't a case of you just came into the night and you are enjoying. He had to put his own know-how into the Super Eagles team.
Do you think, his contract just it's got 1 year left now.
Yes.
Do you think they can actually renew the contract? Because the mandate was get us to the final. But he got
to even speak to the man? He's a Nigerian coach and he's staying. Have you even spoken to him? Do you know where his mindset is? But you are so confident that he is staying and he will be here. See, it's something of, I think even some of our players we see it, we don't build how PR is done, how we speak to the media, the kind of things that you say to the media, the kind of things that you say that triggers fans, triggers whoever is under your payroll, like the coach, the players. These are things that probably a player, a coach can say and be like, no, this is not how you speak about me. What you're saying there as the president of the Football Federation in Nigeria is, who is Eric Shell? Eric Shell is a nobody when you place him side by side with the Super Eagles. But this man, we saw since the day he got the job of the Super Eagles, has brought more than enough to the team. That means he's a good coach and he can take it elsewhere. Okay. And rumors have it that teams have started cutting him.
Yeah, that's why he came out to talk.
Him, then he's doing something right. This man started from Mali to Nigeria. He will go higher. Okay. And, we have a president who is saying, where else can he go? So Nigeria is the best thing that can happen to him.
And Nigeria is the best team in Africa. Take that to the bank. All right. Austin, we are the best team in Africa. We may not be going to the World Cup, but we are the best team in Africa. I can say that with full chest.
Cecilia, I don't know what you're trying to do. I know you want to poke me, but you have said, the things that I wanted to hear, and I'm sure people also understand that you cannot just be saying that this man is Eric Shell even a Nigerian. If you don't give him what he wants, particularly the tools to work with, it's not. But for instance, in the league, the man is traveling all over Europe to look for Nigerians that will play. Fix your league first. Fix your league.
Thomas Zenedi left the Super Falcons for India under 17.
Okay. Now, I know we can stay on Super. When it comes to Super Eagles and NFF, we'll just have a full show without any other thing. But we have Rivers United to talk about, Austin. Finidi George was brutally honest. We're trying to find words, how difficult it is for you to face the press when you've lost. You lost 4 and drawing 1. No win at home at all. Only 1 away, and then you got a goal lesson.
The first time
we have to listen to
we did well. I think we controlled the game, scored our goal. We didn't give them much, We pressed a little bit higher, forced them to kick the long ball, In the second half, I think, yeah, indecision where we're supposed to commit, that tackle, we didn't do it, and they were faster and the player running, so easily, so I think we tried to see how we can contain them in the second half, but yeah, it was difficult for the players, this is another level of football where first half you think you have control over the game, and second half they came all out and we couldn't contain them. That's football. We lost to a very good team, especially in the second half where they had control over the 45 minutes in the second half. It's quite difficult coming here and explaining what has happened. I think we all saw it. They were better, far better in the second half. Yeah, this is another level of football, another level of intensity. They were a better side today, and that's why they are defending champions. So it's quite easy to say the game would have gone our way, but if you look at it in the second half, I think they had a better play, and all the chances fell for them.
You heard from him, right? I wanted Austin to take that from him, but he was so eager to keep talking about the NFL president and Super Eagles and Eric Chell. But let's look at the match day 5 result, just a confirmation of what went down at the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Rivers United at home, they lost 1-4 to Pyramids. They are defending champions for a reason, as in Group A. And of course, Power Dynamos beating RS Bekene. This was what we wanted Rivers to do in the first leg, but that didn't happen. What they have, this is the last game they have to see if they can just finish on a high. That game, of course. Now, Pyramids already qualified on 13 points after 5 matches. They won 4, drawing 1. They haven't lost a game, goal difference of 10. RS Bekene, after 5 games, they won 2, drawing 1, losing 2, and of course, minus 1 in terms of goal difference, and they are on 7 points. And Power Dynamos are, kind of a dragging power with these two top North African teams. After 5 matches, 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses, minus 1. So you see RS Bekene and Power Dynamos on the same point, everything all the same. And for Rivers United, we're already there out. So these two, one of them can still, Power Dynamos can still qualify if Rivers United are able to beat RS Bekene in the last group game. For Rivers United, after 5 games, you look at the column for win, none. And the draw, 1, and the losses, 4. And of course, they are owing loss, minus 8, 1 point. So that's the story of Rivers United, coached by Finidi George. Austin, maybe in 30 seconds, we've overflogged this, right?
It's a simple story. It has a title that says, Fix Your League. Fix Your League, Nigeria. It's such a shame, That's Power Dynamos, a Zambian club, showing us that, look, there are certain things that they have going for them. We can't just keep saying we are giants of Africa. Just like Kehinde Idris said, it's arrogance. It's just plenty talk and no action. Fix your league. We've seen it over and over in the CAF Champions League, in the CAF Confederation Cup, that our league football is terrible, and that's why our clubs perform abysmally when they play other teams.
I don't know if I could. I saw fans while Finidi was walking out of the stadium vehemently abusing Finidi. That's how you came to the Super Eagles and all of that. And I ask a simple question. Arsenal went to Leeds United and beat Leeds United 4-0. Did you find the fans abusing the coach? Because Leeds are not at the level of Arsenal in any way. Our own Rivers United is in no way in the same level with Pyramids right now. And it's not Rivers United's fault. It is not Finidi's fault and the players. It is where our football is. Until we do something drastic, teams like this who have done the proper homework will continue to come here and spank us. Will continue to come here and school us. Because the levels are different. Sundowns come, they will beat you. If Pyramids, RS Bekene, likely come, they will beat you. So it's as simple as that. Fans should probably learn more about levels in football and understand that every day, all day, if a West Ham is at home and a Chelsea visit, most likely Chelsea would win.
I mean, the ruthlessness of Pyramids shows the experience that they have, and that's what Rivers United don't have. On Friday, we established it here on the show that take a look at Rivers United. Most of the players they have, young players, some of them are even making their debut in the NPFL, some just 2 seasons in the NPFL. And so you know the reason why the coach is struggling. When you don't have the players, what can you do? There's nothing you can do about it. Let's go straight to the NPFL. We'll quickly just run through match day 25 results. Bena Insurance beating Eimba to compound the woes 2-0 at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. Abia Warriors and Rangers, this game ended goalless. It was a derby. Korodu City right here in Lagos beating Niger Tornadoes. Kano Pillars beat Remo Stars. I mean, the battles of the relegation side. Kano Pillars winning that. Kun Khalifat against Shooting Stars. Kun Khalifat winning by 2-0. Nasarawa United and Bayelsa won all. Plateau and Kwara United won by lone goal. Warrior Wolves and Academy Warriors ended goalless. Wiki Tourist and Katsina United ended 4-4. Man, this is my game of the weekend. Could have been better if only you were respectful. Now, at the end of that match day 25, this is what it looks like at the table now. After a very long time, after like 3 games, Korodu City finally managed to top the group. With Rivers United still having like 3 games in hand. 3 games in hand. Then you have the wins, 11 wins. Same thing with Rivers United, who haven't played a game for a long time. But you look at the end of the day, they are on 41-point goal difference of 9. Rivers United, of course, still that same point they've been on for a long time. Nasarawa United are moving forward. They are now 3rd on the log, and Rangers are into the top 4 after 25 games, 11 wins also. The losses 7, and of course, goal difference points 40 points after 25 games. The bottom 4, Kano Pillars leading from the bottom after 25 games. They've won 9 games so far out of 25 and drawing 4 losses, 12. And of course, goal difference -8, and they are on 28 points. Of course, Kwara United, after 24 matches, they have a game in hand. They've lost 11 and -3 and 27. And you have Remo Stars, the holders, the champions. After 25 games, they've won just 8 games this season, drawing 2, and they've lost 15 games. We're talking about the champions of the league, 15 games. So this is more like a relegation side at the moment. 26 points from 25 matches. And Kun Khalifa at the bottom, after 24 matches, they are on 25 games, 25 points -6 goal difference, because they've lost 11 games so far this season. And they've won how many? Just 6 out of 25. A quick one, Austin. I think the Kano Pillars own and Remo Stars get us talking, or Kun Khalifat, which one get you talking before we wrap this up?
I think Kun Khalifat, because we had the CEO on the show and he said they were going to beat Shooting Stars. That's arrogance plus confidence when they got the job done, you know. So that really, got me talking. But Kende Idris, is what we've seen also. It's a clear testament. I said it. We need to fix the league, because if you check, look at how teams are struggling to even take Rivers United out. Rivers United that has been busy on the continent, Kende.
Exactly. I wanted to say that Rivers United now being in the mix of the level that everybody finds themselves at the Nigerian, Premier Football League. They've lost just 2 games in 21 games. Look at the goal difference. For those who had 4 more games, better, it's only Korodu City that have got a +9. Rivers have got a +7, because this is the level. They better every other team at this level. You should understand, a bad coach will not have 2 losses in 2 games. But this is an NPFL where Wiki Tourists should have 3 points should have been taken off them. But it is where we find ourselves. We continue to help everybody, patch everybody. I've said it time and time again. Take the template of the NWFL. Whichever team is not ready should not be a part of the league. We don't have to have 20 teams. 10 teams, okay. 12 teams, okay. But every day, every year, we'll have 20 teams who are not teams.
Not teams. Uche Collins scoring a hat-trick, but then that's no longer the story. The story is the fact that, when it was 12 minutes of relegation time remaining and the game was abandoned, they had to return in the morning to finish the game. It ended 4-4. It would have been a classic if only we didn't have these many issues of an abandoned fixtures that the league management had to say you have to play it the next morning. But Austin, we have to go. You've got updates from the Premier League before we go.
Quick update, 56 minutes in that game between Chelsea and Leeds United. It's Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0. Pedro's goal in the 24th minute is the difference in that one. 56th minute also in that game between Everton and AFC Bournemouth. It's Everton 1, Bournemouth 0. India scored from the spot just before halftime. Tottenham 0. Newcastle United 1. Joe Willock scored a goal, but VAR chopped it off. VAR said, no. They looked at it. I thought it was good enough, but VAR said no. The game between West Ham United and Manchester United, that game, it's in the 32nd minute and it's still goalless. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okonakpa. And in everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Kenny Idris, you're smiling. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Man United must win today so that young man can have his hair cut. If not, he restarts again. It is what it is. It's good to be here.
It's going to be 5 in a row. Don't worry. Trust the Reds. 5 in a row.
Okay.
That's what's going to happen. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a good night, right?